My husband used to sleep in a coffin for half of the night, and then he comes to my bed for the remaining half of the night. This is my story, and it is a very sad story. Story time part 1. Lioness Lizzie, so I don't want to go to so much detail on how I grew up and all that, because the main reason why I come to you is to tell you part of the darkest moment that I encountered as a married young woman. I met this man that we've been together for some time. That was since I was in university. And at this time, this man was still working. He was already working and he was supporting me a lot. He was a nice guy. And one of the main reasons that I really loved him was simply because he was giving a lot. He would give his time. He would give his money. He would spend so much to me. And he made me feel appreciated and loved, as any woman would always want. Anyway, it got into a point that I had to introduce him to my family, as he had already introduced me to his family. So moving forward, when I introduced this person to my family, they all loved him because he's a man who comes with so much in his hand. He was here supporting my siblings. He was paying my sister and brother university fee. And he was already there helping my mom to get a new house, because my mom was living in the old house that my dad, had built before he died. So he came to my family as someone that we really needed. I was so proud that at least I married someone who was really deserving me and deserving to be part of our family, because he was really loved. He was this just very nice man. So it got into a point, and of course, after any long-term relationship and all that, all you think about is now marriage. And I was so happy to get married to him. I even was looking forward for the day that he would propose. Anyway, we went to Dubai for the very first time that we traveled to Dubai. He's a businessman. He's also employed. He's employed other people. I will not get into so much detail of what he does, because I don't want anyone to have a hint of who he is. So this day, we were in Dubai. He proposes to me, and he was like, I want to spend all time of my life together with me. And I was like, of course, this is my prayer, and it's now officially answered. Wow. We came back. We started now with preparation for the wedding. He had to do the engagement party that was back in my home. He ensured before we went for the engagement party, he had paid for the dowry. He had spoiled my mom, spoiled my siblings, my uncles, my aunties. No one didn't like this man. And we were all waiting for the day that he will eventually walk down me to his house as his wife. So this day comes, and we had this big wedding that was attended with so much, as I have already seen the photos of the wedding. It was a really immaculate wedding. It was a very beautiful wedding. Anything that any woman will dream or admire. So after the wedding, we went for the honeymoon. That was away from our home, so we did not get any time to spend in his house. Let me bring you back to some of the few details that I feel like I didn't provide to you. When I was dating this guy, most of the time we will only spend our time in very beautiful hotels. There are few times that we visited his brother. There are few other times that we visited his mom in the village. Most of our time we were just outside. The only few times that I happened to go to his house, because he claimed that he was living with some niece and nephew from his other half sibling. So it was not an appropriate space for us to just go there and stay during our date time. So most of the time we will spend in hotels, and he will come also to my space, because at this point he was paying my school, he was helping me with my school fees and my rent. He was now rented me an accommodation place in the big city. Now that was like our common space, because it is his house as much as it is mine. He was paying all bills. He had furnished really well. You know, he was just a nice person. So that is where I want to focus on. We used to spend most of the time either in my house or in the accommodation that we've rented, or in hotels, or maybe in his other family member. No single day I ever spent a night to this man's house. Lioness Lizzie. So it got into a point that now I'm the wife and we're coming back from the honeymoon. Good Lord. I knew his house because I had visited his house during the day, but I had never slept there. It was a very good house, of course, but now after the wedding, he said that he's going to move to a house that is more welcoming, a house that has enough space for us as a couple and for the kids that he was supporting that were staying with him. So he ended up moving house to another different place that I'm not going to mention. Eventually, we are in our new apartment. It's a mansion. It's a very beautiful home. I was so happy because he had to furnish so many of the new stuff that we were looking online when we are during our honeymoon, and I loved it. So the first 2 nights, this man tells me that he really wants just to be giving thanks to God, and he will spend most of the night because he was still at home. He was not doing so much at work or anything. So he said he will be spending most of the time just giving thanks to God for the father. Now the two of us we've come from, we all have the background to do with Christianity, and I really respected that, though I was still having so many questions, because this guy is one of the person that I've never known of him being so fanatical to Christianity or something like that. But at this point now, he's saying that he needs to spend most of the time for the 2 nights just being so appreciative to God for his new marriage and dedicating the marriage to God, of which I said it's okay. So this house has 2 stories, and at this point I had decided that we go for the final room, the master bedroom upstairs, the last upstairs. And I was like, maybe this room has a nice view and it's big, it's all that. And then the second one, maybe that one we can hold for the kids that he was supporting. And then on the basement where we had the lounge, that is where our parents or anyone would stay when they come to visit. Yo, guys. In the master bedroom that we were spending, it's a really big master bedroom. It had a walk-in closet and a balcony. It was really big. There was so much that I didn't know about this house until the 3rd day, my 3rd day in this house. I was like in a big shock. I did not know what to say, because shit unveiled. The man I married is something else. Story time coming to follow me for more.